So the MOD NX and Crashguard NX are dropping pretty soon, if not already, and you should definitely get one of these cases. Maybe not this red one, because I'm going to mess it up pretty good. Now, with the original MOD cases, I was pretty impressed. It was a decent case, but the MOD NX, just much better. The texture on this case is pretty awesome, and that's the number one thing that I had an issue with these Rhinoshield products, going all the way back to the iPhone 6s, was that their products just handle like a wet bar of soap. Now, before I continue, I do have to tell you that the Crashguard and MOD NX are going to be identical, with the only difference between the two is that, well, the MOD NX comes with a backplate. Rhinoshield actually improved the texture of the MOD NX slightly, which is surprisingly enough to stop my iPhone from slipping out of my hand easily. And if it does, well, you'll be happy to know that your iPhone's going to be fine from, 11-foot drop protection. Oh, did I mention that this product is one of the most customizable cases when it comes to colors and designs? If you're feeling the need for a motivation boost, well, remove the rim and add the Wolfpack back panel. Feeling a bit creative? Add a camera lens to the back, and when you're all done, go back to the bumper. And since you're rocking a white seashell Apple Watch band, you can accessorize the bumper to match the tiny Apple wrist computer. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to cover the design of the MOD NX with a focus on the upgrades the Rhinoshield did, the functionality of the iPhone inside the MOD NX, and then end it all off with a symphony of drops. Actually, realistically, it's going to be a cacophony of drops because it's just going to sound loud.
Real usage, real reviews. MobileReviewsEh.ca.
At MobileReviewsEh, Monty and I, this little schnoodle wearing a leopard skin bow tie, base all our reviews on actual usage. And we've been doing this for the last 5 years, which means we've gotten really good at tracking how a company has evolved their products, which is pretty fun to watch and keep track of. Monty and I have been dropping our iPhones in Rhinoshield products from the beginning, so we've seen our fair share of iPhones breaking in them. All right, let's go talk about all the minute details that Rhinoshield added to the MOD NXs. Now, when it comes to general design, the MOD NX hasn't really changed much. Generally, you still have a bumper that has removable buttons and a removable rim. But there are several minor differences between the MOD from last year and the MOD NX. The new MOD NX is thicker than the original MOD, with the iPhone XS version having a tapered center. This tapered center allows for better access to your iPhone X and XS screens. Now, oddly enough, it's not tapered on the XS Max version, which seems weird to me. Now, this additional thickness is going to be quite noticeable for existing Crashguard users, since the Crashguard a year ago was thinner than the MOD to begin with. The bumper is thick enough that the slightly larger camera on the iPhone XS isn't going to touch a flat surface in the bumper or case. The rims on the MOD NX have been improved and fit around the entire case, which makes it easier to remove when you're changing bumpers, but it also does a better job of keeping the rim in place when used with the device. The buttons on the MOD NX are the same as the updated buttons on the Solid Suit released earlier this year, and I'm still very impressed with how well these buttons handle. The tactile response is probably the closest I've seen in a case to a naked iPhone button. Most cases will thin out that button area until the manufacturer thinks it's close enough. Rhinoshield decided to, not do that and make the buttons kind of float in the case. The texture on the MOD NX has been improved as well, and I really, really like it. As I said at the beginning of the video, it doesn't handle like a wet bar of soap anymore. It actually handles more like a dry bar of soap. I took my electronic microscope to the case, and well, you can definitely see the difference between the two. It's subtle, but it does kind of make a world of difference. The blue case is one of the original mods that I have, and you can definitely see that it is way smoother than the newer one. Now, I will add that the overall handling is better than the original mod, but it still doesn't come close to, something like a Spec Presidio grip in terms of just pure handling. Nothing really does. The backplates on the MOD NX have also been improved, as they are a bit thicker and don't feel like an afterthought to the case. I'm glad Rhinoshield did this because I didn't realize how leery I was using the old plates with the camera lenses. The only downside of the backplate is that it will cause your iPhone to slide around easily. Now, I will say that it's not much better with the full bumper setup despite the improved texture on the case. Overall, the fit of the Crashguard NX and MOD NX is awesome considering how many removable pieces there are. Everything fits tightly together, which adds to my perception of how tough the case actually is. Now let's talk about how well your iPhone performs in the case. Using your iPhone in the Crashguard and the MOD NX is just great. Now, as I mentioned before, buttons are awesome, improved texture are awesome, and it works quite well with the massive iPhone XS Max. Screen access on your device is going to be phenomenal on the smaller iPhone XS with the tapered edges, and the product does allow you to attach a wrist strap to it. It's going to be useful when you decide to get a set of lenses to go with your MOD NX. For the camera file, you can add external lenses to your iPhone if you purchase the adapter as well. Now, I do have to say, as a side note, on the camera adapter, if you're very concerned about the camera sticking out too far off the back of the iPhone, this camera lens is actually one of the very few things that actually extends further than the actual camera lenses, so it actually keeps it off a flat surface. So if you're really concerned about that, that's going to be a great way to alleviate some of your concern. Just know that your flash photography might take a hit because, well, of the higher edges around the flash area. When it comes to the lenses, you have 4 options to choose from: a 0.6 wide angle lens, a fisheye lens, a 2-in-1 macro plus wide angle lens, and a 165-degree super wide angle lens. Now, personally, I use the 0.6 wide angle lens all the time, especially when it comes to shooting some of the B-roll shots I use in my videos. Attaching the lenses to the cases is as simple as screwing them on and away you go.
If you need more information about the lenses, do check out the more detailed comparison I made last year with the MOD when it comes to other lenses in terms of quality. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you some of the neater shots that you can shoot with Rhinoshield's lenses on the MOD NX, not the Crashguard. Remember, they're the same case except for the backplate, and you can only use these camera lenses with the backplate. And I know I haven't shown Monty much in this video, but you'll get your Monty dose next. Have fun, puppy? Yeah? Did you? So I don't know if you saw in that last clip where from the right side there was kind of like fog coming in and stuff. This is what it brought along, was these tiny little pebblets of snow, and it's quite grouty now. It looks like snow showers. Ugh.
If this is the first time you're watching my videos, do click subscribe as well as hit the notification bell. If you're finding this video useful, consider getting all your stuff through my links. This video isn't sponsored by Rhinoshield, so everything you're seeing me do is, well, done out of my own pocket. Which means these videos get very expensive because, well, these iPhones have gotten not cheaper, but significantly more expensive. Not because Apple is jacking up the prices, it's because there's just so many more new parts and new features that go into it that the base parts. And anyways, I got a whole video about why it's so expensive. Do check that out as well. And when it comes to protection, the MOD NX and Crashguard is one of the very few cases that offers your iPhone a stupid amount of drop protection. Well, I guess it's time to try to break an iPhone in an NX case. Try.
So as you just saw, this MOD NX or Crashguard NX can definitely take a beating. iPhone still works. Screen comes on. The camera still going. You can see me through the back camera. There's the front camera still going. I haven't really been using it since I've dropped it a ton, but the screen seems to be functional. Nothing wrong with it. I'm actually quite surprised that my iPhone didn't break, especially with those higher drops. It's usually the iPhone 10 seem to break, you know, just normally from a 4-foot drop if you did it repeatedly. So pretty surprised that Rhinoshield, you know, kept their quality, we'll say. The case itself is incredibly mauled. Do a quick close-up of it. Like, that corner is just absolutely garbage. Throughout the entire drops, I did notice that the rim would pop out every once in a while, but I don't think the rim provides any sort of you know, real drop protection that we'll say when it comes to overall protection. So that's kind of all I got. If it's the first time you're watching one of my videos, I do encourage you to click subscribe. I produce content 2 to 3 times a week. It's kind of all I have to say. I'm so cold right now, like my hands. It's not even winter time and I'm freezing my butt off. It's so cold. That's kind of all I got, guys. Thanks for watching.